stick his baseball bat.
Hello guys, welcome back. All right, it looks like we got some positive Caitlin Clark news. It looks like the GOAT will be back for tomorrow's game against the Los Angeles Sparks. But apparently there will be a minutes restriction. She'll be playing about 20 minutes, and she probably will not play in the following game against the Phoenix Mercury. So we got some good news and we got some bad news. She spoke about it, and we also got practice footage. Let's get right into it. Caitlin Clark did take the practice court today. Let's get into that. I wish she wasn't going to be on a minutes restriction, man. All right, so you can see she's back in action at practice. The three-point shot is flowing and everything looks good. She also spoke with the media about her availability for the next game and what the plan is going forward, because there needs to be a plan in place. I'm not trying to sit around and watch this minutes restriction thing. I want to see her ball out. But let's check it out.
How are you feeling? Do you think you'll be able to play
tomorrow?
tomorrow?
Very hopeful for tomorrow, and obviously I think it'll be difficult for me to play both this one on Wednesday and then obviously the one on Thursday, but we'll see. Not from, a health standpoint, well obviously a health standpoint, but just getting back into it. Like I would assume I'd be on a minutes restriction tomorrow. Still hopefully a little bit over 20 if I'm able to go, and I feel like I will be. Hopefully as practice goes well today, and just with it being a back-to-back, it's obviously kind of tough to get back into it, but then, hopefully feel good after the game versus LA and then be available in Vegas, and then feel pretty positive going from there once we get back home as well. But feeling great. Everything's been good up until this point, and hopefully have another great day of practice and be ready for tomorrow.
Just how helpful were those 8 days off that you guys had last week just to rest and to have some practice?
It feels kind of weird, honestly, it's like you play for 2 weeks straight. I think we had 5 games in 8 days or whatever it was, and you get so in a groove of going from scout to scout and knowing what people are going to do, and then you have some time off and you're back to it kind of has that training camp feel and get back into the swing of things. I thought obviously everybody came out and played really well versus Vegas, and this is a long trip for us, 11 days. You have to keep building and finding ways to win, but even for myself, obviously having missed the 2 games, it feels even longer. I've had this really long break, but at the same time, get your body right and then your mind right and get back into it.
How's the team bonding been? What are you learning about this iteration of the
Yeah,
team?
it's been fun. We went to Nobu last night in Malibu. We just find fun things to do, and when you're on the road for 10 days, you better like each other and find things to do, or else it'll be a really long trip. And lucky enough, we have a great group, and it's been fun to spend time with everybody and spend some time at the tables in Vegas. I'm down, so. But the good thing is we're going back, so you get even or get even worse.
What are you playing?
I like blackjack and roulette. Yeah, Black 22 hasn't hit yet, but I'm feeling confident going back there that might hit. But no, it's been fun to be around everybody. Obviously, a great group of people, and it makes playing basketball with them every day a lot more fun as well.
Can you speak to the mental toughness that you have just as not only just being on the road, but just the injuries, and, just kind of getting the group there?
Yeah, it's obviously becomes a grind, especially when you're not in practice as much. Obviously, I've been able to be in a good amount of practice last week and stuff. So, sometimes it's hard when you don't get to play the game, and takes some mental resiliency. And I think for me, even watching the Vegas game, that's a game I could learn a lot from when we're going to go back there on this road trip and play them again. And but I think just pouring into my teammates the best I can, being as good a teammate as I can be, and being their biggest fan on the bench and supporting them in whatever way. And then I get to get back out there, so staying positive with that too.
Yeah, and with that too, just kind of the different perspective that you have on the bench when you're watching your team.
Yeah.
What are those things that really stand out that they do really well?
Yeah. I think our defense was really good in the last game, and obviously that was the focus for a week of practice, is just really guarding and being physical and taking away what they want to do. I thought we did a really good job of that. I thought we did a great job on offense of, the things that worked, we continued to go to them. We didn't go away from them. I thought that was good. I thought, when we were able to go that 10-point lead, they had that little mini run at the beginning of the fourth, but then we kind of, extended it there and didn't let them back in the game. So that was a few things that we did really well, and just got to continue to build. Obviously, LA has some really talented players too, so we need to be well there. And then obviously, this will be our first back-to-back of the season, and that presents a totally different mental challenge as well. So going into that, we'll need to be mentally tough more than anything. Perfect.
I was just going to ask, with this back injury too, is it the same thing or the same issues that kind of cropped up in training camp, or is it something that kind of popped up?
I think it's just when you have some back stiffness and things like that, it can affect a lot of other areas of your body. So being able to control it and manage it the best you can. But I think overall, I feel good about the stuff we're doing to help with it. Obviously, it's not always fun sitting on a plane for 4 hours and traveling a lot. I think sometimes that's not what people always really realize. Is it's hard on your body to travel and be on the road for 10 days and sleeping in different hotels and things like that. But I know I'm doing everything I can to be as healthy as possible. I really trust that. I trust the people behind me that are helping me. And like I said, I feel good, especially going into tomorrow.
Controversial question: Aaron Dessner or Jack Antonoff?
Oh, you guys are just trying to get me in trouble.
You all should be able to take care of the Los Angeles Sparks without too much trouble. Seriously, you should be able to play basketball 2 days in a row. Come on, Caitlin Clark, we want to see you out there. Nobody wants to watch a matchup against Alyssa Thomas and Dewana Bonner without you on the floor. That's where the excitement is. That's where the energy comes from. We want the spice, we want the sizzle. Suit up for both games if you can. The Los Angeles Sparks have been struggling lately, and the Indiana Fever should be able to handle business either way. All right, now, so that was Caitlin Clark on her availability for tomorrow's game and going forward. Stephanie White spoke on a couple things. Let's get into that.
Obviously, the Aces tendered an offer sheet to Justine, and you guys opted not to match. Just what went into that decision?
I think just not having really feeling like we had the ability to open up a roster spot. I think that's the great thing about these development spots, and the challenging thing about these development spots is that you have opportunity to develop players, and then when they get an opportunity to get a standard contract, much in the same way when we brought Grace on, this is what it's meant for, to continue to advance opportunity for players and to continue to keep them ready when their opportunity presents itself.
What has it been like just to navigate the developmental pool kind of on this side of things with it being the first year?
Yeah, I think we're just all still trying to figure it out, what it looks like. Certainly we were in a position a season ago where it would have been nice to have players that you can activate and have ready. And fortunately, for the most part, collectively, we haven't had that opportunity this year. So I think we're still all trying to figure it out. It's in a perfect world, we eventually get to where they're either full roster spots or we have a quote-unquote G League-like opportunity for us as we continue to build out our league. But again, I think it's a great opportunity to keep players ready. If you need them and if other teams need them as well.
You obviously mentioned Grace coming on a standard contract, and with Demira Stantis too. What do you like about them kind of near the end of the bench to decide to keep?
Well, I think first and foremost, great culture players. Great culture teammates. They're going to continue to be ready when their number's called. Grace is a young player who I think can really develop into a solid four in this league. Dee Dee's a veteran who understands how to stay ready so she doesn't have to get ready. Who we can play in certain lineups and certain matchups. Who are going to give us great minutes in practice certainly as well. And who are going to help continue to evaluate and build and pour into our culture.
What's it like trying to manage her availability and make sure she stays as healthy as possible, especially on this long road trip?
Yeah, for me, I do what I'm told. I stay in my lane. So whenever medical says that we need to do to make sure that she's ready, and whatever she says that she needs to feel comfortable and confident, is what we're going to do. It's an adjustment based on like who's playing and rotations and all of that, and it's adjustment based on how we play. But certainly, we want to make sure again that the message is the same and it's clear. It's like her long-term health and wellness is the most important thing, and so if she's ready, she'll play. And if we have setbacks, then we'll reevaluate.
I'm just gonna say it, letting Justine Pissott go still doesn't make much sense to me. I really think the team should have re-signed her. Looking at how things have unfolded, that decision continues to raise questions. And then you hear Stephanie White talking about Demira Stantis staying ready so she doesn't have to get ready. I get the message she's trying to send, but fans are going to judge based on what happens on the court. Right now, a lot of people feel the production simply hasn't been there, and that's why the conversation keeps coming up. At this point, though, I'm ready to focus on what really matters, and that's watching Caitlin Clark get back on the floor and play basketball. That's what I'm looking forward to the most. Hopefully she can return healthy, get into a rhythm, and remind everyone why she's one of the biggest stars in the game. Get down in the comments and let me know what you think. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share the channel.